Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to continue to help you guys get ready for rank by giving you some of the top rogues that I think are going to be useful for you to pick up and expand your rogue pool in. If you do go on to enjoy the video or learn something new, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But for now, let's get into it. I'm going to quickly go over the criteria that I used when deciding which rogue should fit into this list. I mentioned in my Get Ranked Ready video that you need to start expanding your rogue pool into rogues that you think you're going to be able to carry on, and that's kind of what I had in mind when I was making this list. I went for rogues who are really good at solo carrying the matches through different means. One of those are the rogues who can just kill a bunch of people either because they have really good weapons or really good kit to help them kill a lot of people, who have really good survivability. But I also went for rogues who are able just to stall out and hold off positions long enough for your team to kind of get the idea that they're there and then rotate. Because that's the hardest thing in these solo demolition matches, which ranked is mostly going to be focused around, I believe, is getting your team on the same page as you. So if you can play a rogue who can buy for time, get some picks, get some downs, they're going to be really useful to help your team know where to go. I also went for rogues who have incredible utility. I always say it, utility is king in this game. So if you're able to have grenades that can get a few picks, have utility that can do different jobs and help you win more fights, that's going to be really useful. And also, while I was thinking of all of this, I was weaving in what the current meta is, because at the end of the day, if you want to grind really hard in ranked, choosing the more meta options is going to be better at doing that. Now, a little disclaimer, just because a rogue isn't on this list doesn't mean they're viable in ranked play. Every rogue can be viable, just some may be better than others for a solo carry potential, and particularly as you get higher up the sort of ranked leaderboards, then the more meta rogues are going to be better for you to pick. I'm sure there will be that solo Scorch main who's able to reach rogue. I have no doubt about it that every rogue is going to be viable. I just think for the majority of you, picking up these rogues is going to be the best at helping you develop your play in ranked. Starting with probably my favourite current rogue is going to be Dahlia. There is almost nothing wrong with Dahlia. She is a great supportive rogue, a great aggressive rogue, a great defensive rogue. She is such a versatile playstyle that can really help you and your team just achieve anything you want. She has the SMG, which is incredible for close range, the DMR, which is the best gun in the game, arguably, at close range, mid range, and long range, to get a bunch of kills, and is so adaptable just with everything that she's got going on. Her ability is going to be massive for ranked because you just find the other best player on your team and you kind of pair up with them and go around as a 2v2, because you can 2v4 in this game. Much easier than a 1v4 obviously, and not as hard as you think to 2v4 games at a high level. So you find the best player or the best passive that suits it if you need a solo carry, and you go around that way with that revive just to help them if things do go pear-shaped. You then also have the smoke and grenade, two fantastic pieces of utility to help no matter what you want, to get you out of a situation with the smoke or block off a line of sight to help you just funnel down one way, or the grenade to help get a pick or a thirst if that is what you choose to do. And then with the perks that she has, there's really nothing wrong. Every penny that is spent on Dahlia is worth it. The katana is a great melee weapon, the executioner is a beast of a pistol. She is just a fantastic all-round rogue and should definitely be part of your ranked playlist and your ranked rogue pool. If she's not already, pick her up. In a very similar line then, but fulfilling a slightly different role, is Trench. Trench also has the MXR, which again, arguably the best weapon in the game, and therefore can absolutely shred with it. His barbed wire is fantastic at zone control. He's got 2 grass grenades because of his passive and 2 trophy systems, which again will just help slow down the enemy breach. You have to assume in ranked play, particularly in those mid levels and the lower levels especially, teams aren't going to coordinate their utility well enough and they will fall for the trophy system really easily. And then just generally with his perks and the rest of his kit, he's so solid. There's like literally, he's just such a great rogue to have on defense. He's great at doing that role that I said, which is holding down a position long enough for your team to rotate. He can hold longer angles with the DMR and get a bunch of picks. He can fight them if they come up close. And he's just generally an all-round great rogue who will fulfill a lot within this game and is definitely in the top 4 of your rogue pool. Then we're going to go on to a slightly different role, and this is going to be Dima. Now, Dima is a rogue who can really frag out and offers a lot of opportunity for your team if you're able to hit that grenade launcher and different frag grenades. If you're good at utility, using Dima is going to be really good, and I would recommend just practicing him and adding him to your rogue pool to learn and use this, because he'll be so crucial in ranked play. He is arguably the best offensive character because of his breach, but also he can be played on defense if you know the right circumstances to use him. His weapons are just above average, but they're still good in the right hands. The K30 is a good assault rifle, and the Mamba is a good DMR. They're just not the top tier in their respective fields. He's got a grenade and an EMP of which is very slept on and is a massive counter if they have a trench. I would recommend always buying it if there's a trench, just to stop that barbed wire. His perks are also amazing with Bounce Back and Life Drain and Replenish. 3 great perks there that are going to really enable his kit and enable his frag out potential. For the attacking side, Dima should be added to your rogue pool for sure. You need to be able to use him. You need to at least be able to understand what he does so you can play around it if they have it as well. So definitely build this into your rogue pool. You will not regret it. As soon as you get good with that launcher, you'll be getting free picks and building momentum for your team to push forward and win the game. Then unsurprisingly, we're also going to be adding Ronin into the rogue pool that I think you guys should start building up. Ronin is just brilliant generally. No matter what situation you're in, Ronin can always be useful. With the SLC SMG, which is a really good SMG for the up close and personal fights, or the K30 for a more versatile mid-range, long-range, even close range if you need it, AR, that's a really good weapon as well. So 2 good weapons there. Again, not the best in their class, but they're okay. You'll be able to do a lot with those weapons. Then you obviously have her kit with her perks, which are okay. Oh, she has tenacity, which is so good. Dahlia and Trench also have tenacity, which is just a really key perk, particularly going into ranked when I think random grenades are going to be really common. You then have replenish, and you have tracker rounds, which will be slightly more useful. Tracker rounds, I think, in solo demolition are going to be really good because they reveal to your teammates where enemies are, and that doesn't really work in competitive because you just call it out anyway, but for randoms, it's going to help just give them a bit of positional awareness. She then, again, like Dahlia, has the smoke grenade and the frag grenade, which are really good versatile pieces of gadgets for any situation that you get yourself into. Then you've got her knife, which can be used aggressively, defensively, even with the nerf, so now it won't kill people with headstrong, which, is going to be impactful in those later rounds, but is not in those early rounds when you can get a good 2, 3, 4 round advantage by using it offensively or by using it effectively. Make sure you're learning how to use her dart properly, whether that is just as a bit of flank protection, learning some good spots where it can't be shot or disrupted, or using it aggressively as a sort of very quick fire grenade by throwing it and shooting it. These can all be very good different ways of using it that I would recommend. And then finally, in the top 5 rogues that I think should be in your rogue pool in some fashion, I'm also going to throw Talon in there. Now, I rave about Talon quite a lot, even though I don't play him as much as other rogues. I think he's a fantastic pick for anybody who is looking to get good at the game. The reason for this is because with his dart, he's able to reveal an area, then reclaim it using his passive mag gloves and throw it out somewhere else. This gives you and your team a lot of information about where enemies are. It helps in big 4v4 fights, but also helps to guard your flank or just learn about enemy positioning, which when you're with randoms and they can see it as well, is really crucial. He obviously has the LMPX, which is arguably the best SMG because of its versatility at close range to long range. He has the D3DI as a DMR, which if you're able to hit 2 headshots with it, and you need to hit the 2 headshots, it's really good, probably one of the best DMRs, but if you don't hit the double headshot, then it's actually not as good as any of the DMRs. So it's kind of a risk reward. If you're good at hitting headshots with it, then go for it. If not, stick with the LMPX, it will never do you wrong. He has a flash grenade and a C4, very good versatile pieces of equipment there to help you win the 1v1s, which is going to be crucial in these ranked games. He's then got a fantastic perk set with tenacity, now tracker rounds, he's got life drain. All of these are going to be really useful to you and to him to help you win more rounds. So they're the top 5 rogues that I'm going to say you need to have in your rogue pool. If you're able to use them and cycle between them in games, you'll feel really effective and you'll win a lot more rounds, I think. These rogues are just much more meta in terms of their damage and their equipment and the way you should be playing the game right now. You'll also notice that 4 of them have tenacity, and that is not by mistake. Tenacity is a really good perk and will help you a lot in ranked play because you will find these random grenades come thrown at you and you need to be able to deal with them and tank them so you can then go and heal up and then push your objective that way. I will just bring you some honorable mentions though about rogues who I think you should be able to use in sort of flex situations and who might be really good for you. The first of these is going to be Lancer. I think Lancer is going to be a great rogue for those of you who are really aggressive and can really be patient at timing those flanks to disrupt the enemy team. I think she's got a really good place in this game with really good weapon. Because of her kit, with the Semtex, with the smoke grenade, I think she definitely has a place. She's just not a top tier pick that you need, I would say, but she can be used if you are good with her. Similarly on that vein is going to be Phantom, great pick potential, really good thirst potential with the grenade as well if you can hit it, but very risky unless you're very good with her. So not necessarily one I recommend for everyone to pick up, but if you feel really confident as a Phantom, go for it. Just be prepared that as you get higher up in the ranks, people will not be afraid of you. I'm not afraid of a Phantom. I'll just throw a smoke at you, run at you with an SMG or an AR, or honestly, I'll just challenge you with a DMR and trust that you won't hit that first shot, in which case, you really need to be hitting that first shot. And then the last flex pick I just want to mention is going to be Vi. You know I love Vi. I don't think she's super meta right now. I think she's fallen off a little bit for me personally compared to other picks, mostly because her weapons are not phenomenal. She really relies, for me, on the executioner pistol more so than any other weapon, which is good, but is not going to compete with a DMR and can only sometimes compete with an AR. Her AR is actually really just a glorified SMG, which can be kind of useful, but is just not the best in its class by any means. Her zone control, though, is why I think she's going to be really useful. She offers a more aggressive form of zone control than something like a Trench, who can just slow them down. Vi can actually damage them permanently, and just dealing any damage with that poison is going to be useful for your team. Even if you die, your team may still be able to clean up because you've done so much poison damage to them over time. Okay then guys, that's going to take us to the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/raddargaming to see live gameplays, guides, Q&As and tournaments. All the links you need for that are down in the description below, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll see you in the next video.